Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And we are back again talking DanDaDan, but instead of the manga, we are talking about the season 2 that just wrapped up earlier this week. And joining me yet again is Jamie. How's it going, Jamie?
I'm good. Like before we go too far, I will say maybe we will talk a little bit about the manga because I was looking at like some recaps of the season just to make sure I know like where everything's contained since I have been reading the manga. And there were actually some complaints. Well, I won't say complaints. There was someone complaining, and then other people were like, "Well, if you read the manga, you would get it." So I'm curious to dig into that discussion.
Okay, that should be interesting. That just tell me when we're going into manga territory so I can put a spoiler warning
It's
for.
gonna be everything that's contained within season 2, so I won't be going past. I won't be going into like spoilers for anybody that's caught up on DanDaDan, but yeah.
Nice, nice. But like I said, season 2 came out. The season 2 ended, was it Thursday or something? I watched the last episode tonight, so I am a bit off when I usually watch the episodes on Sunday since everything else that I'm watching comes out by then.
Yeah, I pretty much do the same thing, but yeah, the episode dropped on Thursday.
And it's only continued off with them fighting the. Can you call them cult? The whole war celebrating the big worm, all the kind of stuff. But it turns out to be a monster type deal.
I mean, I guess you could. The Kita family, I think it is. I don't. If they're all related, I guess can a family be a cult? I don't know. I guess you could call it a cult. We'll just put simple answer yes.
And I have to say, they made them perfectly creepy with the face of theirs, which I felt that they were creepy in the manga, and they honestly made it creepier in the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask something specific for you. But is there anything that stood out for you in this season? Give me the top 3 things that stood out, or should I say, favorite part of the season.
My favorite parts of the season. I think I can't remember which specific episode it was, but the one where Momo. Also spoilers if you guys haven't seen season 2. I know Did was saying he hasn't caught up yet. When Momo got the job at the maid cafe, I thought that was funny, but I also felt it was embarrassing for Momo. But I also was like, oh yes, this is the spicy content I'm here for. So I thought that was funny.
Hey, Edge. By the way.
And that's definitely one of them. I think I say this every time. Well, so far I've said it twice with where they keep deciding to end the season. When Vamula kisses Okaru, that was also one of the parts I remember in the manga being like, oh my god, Momo's gonna kill her. And they definitely nailed that vibe with the anime as well. So I have to give them their shout out there. And then I think seeing the backstory of Evil Eye and having and seeing like Gigi kind of connect with this kid as far as like, oh man, he's been treated bad his whole life. Like I want to like try and give him something positive to latch on to. I thought was also really good too. I don't know if that's specific to an episode, but that was also one of my favorite like parts of the season.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Well, like you, it was one of the things was the maid cafe episode, because that was just so freaking relatable and so freaking perfect. I mean, if you have typical best friends here in Sweden, at least, we would do something like this without any question. If you know what I mean, just embarrassing. If we know two people are interested in each other, all that jazz kind of deal. I mean, it's a very relatable situation. So I'm just laughing my ass off about that scene, if I'm being completely honest. The second one is that I think they handled the, just like you said, the evil eye stuff. Because I was a bit worried that they would, the, well, I don't know why, but I was worried that it would F it up. And and also, this is just, but I fucking love how they ended season 2, because it was such a how should I put it? It was such a hilarious cliffhanger.
It was, but at the same time, it's tough because like I think the endings for season 1 and season 2, they both end in a spot where it's like, whoa, like I want to see what happens next. But at the same time, I think when season 3 comes around, I'm gonna have a similar experience to like the start of season 2, where I was like, oh wait, we're here? What happened? Like we're just kind of jumping back into things rather than having like a solid like start and stop. It feels like they're like soft ending and then like soft starting seasons. And that's the only critique I have with that. Like the actual events that happen and like, oh, it's always been fun. But the way that they start and stop endings makes it, or ending seasons makes it hard to like jump back in, because you have to immediately remember like, okay, like this was the previous episode of the season, now we're here.
To be fair, DanDaDan has a very stop and start situation of how they are going through their what's the word? They are in
Like they're pacing.
Pacing, or should I say, go in transition from one arc to another. It's not like it's not a regular shonen show that just easing you in. It just boom, boom, boom. So I kind of get it. I mean,
yeah, I see. That's where it's like, and it's kind of to what I was reading a little bit earlier today on, I guess, just making me think about adapting the manga like incredibly faithfully to the point where it's like maybe there's like only a few changes, to making an adaptation, but also giving like the director or writer, whoever might be, creative freedom to kind of like change things a little bit, in the vein of like JoJo. You know, like people had said in the manga that part 5 was infamously like not the best, and then I think in the anime they did a good job of like whatever the issues were, I feel like they were able to kind of resolve them or at least smooth them out a bit, so it was a much better experience for everyone. So I guess that's where I'm at with the kind of like start stop endings of things. But I know, so you said the Maid Cafe and the Story with the Evil Eye that you were surprised they got right. So what was the last one that you, or the last part of the season you liked?
I like the interaction between the alien and the main crew, so to speak, because and the fact that Granny still doesn't believe in aliens. It's just did you see the UFO kind of deal? And I mean, okay, it's sort of like if someone saw a ghost next in front of you and just, oh, good special effects.
Yeah, kind of like I don't think it's just gonna get on me for this, but you know, in K-pop Demon Hunters, at the beginning when like the demon gets thrown in the crowd, they're like, "Oh man, sick costume."
Yeah. And but I have to say, this animation studio has been perfect for covering this show so far. I was a bit skeptical at first since I hated their previous project, but then again, I can't stand the manga in general, so that's not on them. I
What
guess.
was the last thing that they worked on before DanDaDan?
Unless I missed something else, they worked on Devilman Crybaby, and I hate that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Devilman Crybaby either, to be honest with you. But I don't like. I always thought it was animated well. It's just the story I didn't like.
Science Star. Also, by the way, I'm looking forward to their Santa series, which is apparently coming out in 2 months, so to speak. It just looks so batshit insane. But and I have to say, and I have to ask, what did surprise you the most in this season?
I guess this
Be
kind of
right
goes
back, by the way.
into okay. This kind of goes into what I was reading on Reddit. Like someone said that DanDaDan season 1 was so good. What happened to season 2? And then they started to go into their list of critiques, complaints, whatever you want to view it as. And they basically, what you could sum it up to is like the pacing of like the giant worm arc, I guess you call it Evil Eye arc. And then what's been happening with the kaiju towards the end, I think. Let me see. Let me go back. I actually have it pulled up. Let's see. Evil Eye and the Worm. And then yeah, I think those were the two that they pointed out. And basically they were saying that the arc seemed a little bit drawn out, and then the things in between that, like the maid cafe, like the exorcism that happened, they're like, why did that even, we didn't even need that, like why did you have to show that? Which that I just don't agree with at all.
Yeah,
Like
that I
those were
don't
important.
agree with.
Yeah, like those are important. Like even if because someone said like, oh, it's important because Momo wanted a job, and I'm like, that doesn't mean it means to get in the show. That was important because that's where Momo learns Momo Tribe. That's where she learns like that like idea. Mhm.
It also is a good thing to have moments of slice of life stuff, just so let characters interaction, you know.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy me some. For example, I do enjoy me some solo leveling. Don't get me wrong, but how should I put it? It's a clear it's a perfect example of the today's some of today's viewers that needs keychains dwingling next to you and next to same front of them, and yeah, not being just, oh, can you move on to that, especially after the episode where, spoilers for those that haven't seen season 2, the mom, they focus on him and his mom, so
Yeah.
so I can just see it being that.
Yeah, although I understand why they did the things that they did, I can't say that this comment didn't resonate with me at least a little bit in regards to like the evil eye, like giant worm thing, and the kaiju arc that we have towards the end. Only because and it's not even like the animation team or like Science Saru's fault. It's literally like when I was reading it in the manga, I was like, oh man, it's been going on for a few chapters and still going. And like, the same thing happened with anime, because they've been really good at adapting this manga, like I think pretty faithfully. So it's hard to say what they could have done to, I guess, up the pace with those two particular arcs, but still keep like a lot of the um, emotions and I guess important character beats that were in those arcs as well. So for me, I was like, you know what? These two arcs were not my favorite arcs to begin with. And honestly, like somebody else on this Reddit thread was also saying, like, these two arcs, or I guess the series of arcs between season one and season three, are not necessarily like the greatest in DanDaDan, but they are really important to like set up things to come. And that's kind of how I view it too. Is like I still enjoyed them. I don't think I enjoyed them as much as like the arcs in season one, but I still enjoyed them. I thought they brought on great character development. The cast has continued to grow, which is great to see. But I think the most important part about this season is setting up these different characters, their abilities, their connections for season three and beyond, because that's when things start to really get crazy, if you ask me. And when things get much more high pace, isn't exactly the right term, but I guess just more interesting to me personally. So that's kind of how I viewed it. But I still enjoyed season two. Season two is still very fun.
Yeah, I think you're hitting the nail right on the head and all that. Yes. Although I have to say, as much as I enjoyed the kaiju battle that happened in the last episode and all that, yes,
Mhm.
the whole I don't know if it feels too personal or it just felt too goofy, but I'm not a fan of Kinta,
Um,
honestly.
a character.
Yeah, I don't hate him. It just he's just face palm. Why kind of deal? But then again, it might as well just be me.
He is like a textbook nerd, like to the point where they have the joke, like if you looked up X thing in the dictionary, like they see your picture. Like I feel like if you looked up nerd in the dictionary, a picture of Kenta might be there. um, and I think because he plays into a lot of nerdy tropes, both in a positive sense and a negative sense, it can rub people the wrong way because the way he's portrayed to me feels like the old school way of saying like, oh, you're a nerd, just like, oh, like you have your head down in books all the time, you're not super social, you're like very bullyable kind of thing, which Kenta is some of those things. But I think what's good about his character is once you get past those surface level things, you start to see him as like a more complete person where it's like he's really into like mechs and robots. He has like a huge passion for that. He wants to like connect with people. He wants to connect with women. Like, all things that are very relatable. But you wouldn't be able to know that unless you really got to speak with Kenta. And it'd have to be a few different interactions because he is a bit strange. He's a strange character. But I don't mind him. I don't mind him. I think he's cool. Sometimes he does make me cringe, but I don't know. I don't mind cringe.
I guess it's I don't mind cringe either. It just depends on how it's executed. I guess. I mean, I'm a sucker for romance shows and all that. Yes,
Mhm.
romance shows has quite some cringy moments. Let's be
Yeah,
real here.
yeah, they definitely can.
So,
Do you since you've read the manga, not that I'm trying to think, I'm like outside of this arc, I don't feel like we see Kenta a lot. But
I mean, I
outside
mean,
of this season of anime, do you feel the same way about his character where you don't like him, or it was just this particular season of DanDaDan where you're like, oh, I don't like what they did with Kenta?
I'm just not a fan of the character in general. I don't hate him like I do with Bakugo or how I can't stand Zenitsu pre Infinite Castle arc, but it just toned it down a bit. Man, seriously, it's that kind of deal.
Yeah, that's fair. He seems like in a way, I feel like people like that very much like wear their heart on their sleeve, like their passions are very apparent just from the get-go. At least for me personally, sometimes I'm not as big a fan because it's like somewhat insecure, like, damn, I wish I could be like that, but I'm not. So I don't like that. um but at the same time, there is a little bit of weirdness there. There is. But I think having Kenta is a good addition to the cast.
That I
Shows
can
different
agree.
levels of nerddom.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess it fits right on in with the mischiefs of those characters. They aren't exactly normal, if you catch my drift.
No, yeah, that's not normal is not normal in DanDaDan.
It's more that when it's not quote unquote normal, it's that's when it's not normal in this show.
Yeah.
If that wording makes any sense.
Yeah.
But let's if we circle back to the ending, so to speak, and we see the reveal of what the kaiju really was.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, going also back to the manga, how this is a mix of it. How did you react when you saw that it was someone in the kaiju suit, so to speak? And do you know any anime onlys that how they reacted towards the revealing question? The only one I know that watches the anime besides my sister is you, and she is pretty much. Of course, there is.
You know, I don't think I know any anime onlys that are caught up. I have to ask because I think Joel said he was watching, and Didge was saying in the chat he's going to catch up, so we'll have to see what his thoughts when he does. But for my reaction when I read that in the manga, I think it's tied into because like when you see her, you see when you see Vamola, Vamola is the character that comes out of the kaiju. The first thing you see of her is her kissing Okurum. Or I think there is a thing of before she kisses Okurum, but our panel. But
let me check. It's not in the anime, but let's check if it's in the manga.
but yeah, it was like, oh wow, like there's a human in there. Oh my god, she's kissing Okurum. Like that completely superseded like all my previous emotions about like, oh, what the heck is going on here, to just like shock and fear and also I guess enjoyment from the spiciness of the situation. So seeing it in the anime, I feel like it was just an anticipation for like, oh yeah, this is about to happen. But at the same time, as I was watching the episode, I was thinking like, like the way that things are going, and this is the final episode of the season, I'm like, I bet they're gonna end on a kiss. And so to see that they did, I'm like, yeah, I see. That makes sense. I like that would be the cliffhanger.
For the record, they did show her in that spacesuit before, and them opening it in the manga, they jumped from that one, and she being Okurum being the first one she sees, and probably that's why.
Yeah.
And
What's funny is I kind of thought it was a Starfire situation. I don't know if you're familiar with Teen Titans. Yeah,
uh, I
I
know
thought
the
it might have been a
basics.
Starfire situation where it's like, oh, she had to kiss him to learn the language, and then when she like still didn't know the language, I was like, oh, I'm like, oh, she just kissed him. Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, this is a fun time. It was a fun time.
Yeah, and of course we have Momo jealous, if
Hmm.
anything, which just is perfect for the pretty much suiting, considering where they are right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and so they, have what have we not covered in this
Uh,
season talk right now?
let's see. Oh, something else. I was curious. What color hair did you think Famola had?
Oh, that. Oh. Honestly, I thought she would. I don't know why, especially since she is she's drawn with light so white hair in the manga,
Mm-hmm.
in quotation marks, since it's black and white. But I thought it was more going to be kind of yellow teal kind of stuff.
Mm.
And teal, that's light blue, and teal is light blue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I know the connection is because in Heroes of Might and Magic, the seventh player in a map, it's called teal by default. So,
Mm.
but I thought she would have something like that, but then you have to realize also, which I didn't, now that I think about it when I saw in that episode, the stereotypical way we are showing off aliens is, well, how should I put it without spoiling it? But there is a reason why Jujutsu Kaisen is joking about calling the introduction of aliens for as a greenskins. If you get what I mean.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't know that they were
Yes,
doing
there
that,
is
but I did get
Yes, there is aliens in the K sequel.
that. Mm. Interesting.
I'm not gonna go more into that because this isn't a JK one, but
No, yeah, that line of thinking definitely makes sense. Um, I feel like I was honestly watching the anime. I was more shocked by her hair color than anything else, because like you were saying, like in the manga, she has like light colored hair, which is represented with the color of white. And for some reason, to me, I'm like, you know what? Her with white hair, like it kind of just makes sense. Like I think she does have white hair, and it's not like I actively had the thought of like, oh yeah, white hair, like all this other attributes. It's like, oh yeah, like just basically took the page for face value. Like, yeah, that's what she looks like. So when I saw it in the anime, I was like, oh, green hair? I'm like, oh, interesting.
hmm,
um, but I'm with it.
there's more often than not that I've seen animes that where I'm just I didn't expect that hair color for that character, so I get you. I get you. One of the recent examples is a One Piece character, which the hair color makes no freaking sense. So,
Mm.
but I digress.
There was that, and then I feel like I saw buzz around the exorcism concert that happened a
Oh,
little bit earlier in the season.
wasn't it sort of like it got controversial because it was a plagiarism stuff?
Oh,
I
I
can't. I can't recall.
I don't know. I don't think I've heard that. Is that the case? Let me see. Let me see.
I know there was a controversy about.
There was. I feel like it was related to like a symbol or something. Let's see. Controversy. But I think it was Mike that said it, but I was basically thinking the same thing. That it seems like no season of DanDaDan is complete without a controversy. Although this one I feel like kind of blew over, so because I didn't really hear a lot about it. It says this is based on reporting from Nick Valdez from comicbook.com. The team behind DanDaDan shared an official apology after it raised some copyright concerns. The evil eye arc featured one of the biggest moments of the anime thus far. Has raised some surprising questions around the fictional band Hayase. What Hayase? I don't know. Seems to closely resemble the real life band X in Japan. They found themselves in the middle of the controversies. Ex-Japan member Yoshiki shared concerns about the fictional band and their performance from episode 18 too closely resembled Ex-Japan. Okay. I mean, let's see. We deeply apologize regarding the song Hunting Soul from the DanDaDan series. The song is great and hopes of expressing the same passion as Yoshiki and Ex-Japan, whom the entire production team greatly respects in the anime. Interesting. Because I think the band is pretty similar to how they were in the manga, but I guess because now it's like, well, first of all, the anime is much larger than the manga, and they actually attach music to it. I guess that's why it's blown up way more. Yeah, but you would have thought they would have reached out to them if that was the case, that they were so closely tied together.
But then again, also for some reason, I don't know if you knew this, but in My Hero Academia, one of the war arcs, you can see Denji in his Chainsaw Man form for one of the heroes, and but in the anime they change him into a log, as in old school and all that, yes, just to avoid copyright between the Mappa and Bones. Mm-hmm. And how far are you in the recent season of Sakamoto Days?
I haven't seen the most recent episode.
Okay, to give without a context, non-spoiler, there is a character that says in the manga, this is like playing Resident Evil, which is a nod type of deal, because the author is a big fan of the Resident Evil movies, actually. That's from mangaka is a fan of those. But in the Netflix adaptation, they said that it's like playing an FPS game. And I wonder if it's because they don't have the rights to Resident Evil and they can't just mention that.
Interesting. That would be interesting if Netflix didn't have the rights to Resident Evil, because like the last, I think, company to put out anything Resident Evil was Netflix. With they did the animated movie, they did the live action show, and then I think they did like a behind the scenes documentary of the live action show or something like that. But maybe that was a limited time thing.
Yeah. It feels like they are able to get away with some copyright stuff a bit more in mangas than is in animes. But then we have stuff like in I don't know what it is, but Twitter is just called something else, and the same goes for Instagram and Google and all that, yes, which is just, you can reference that, but you can not mention those. It's weird. Licensing is weird.
Yeah, I don't fully understand it. Like if it's just like, oh, somebody likes something or somebody dislikes something, it's like whatever. I don't know, but I guess you gotta pay to have the privilege to mention these different brands and whatnot.
Yeah.
But to kind of close things out with this controversy with X Japan, the ice singer for the group connected with the DanDaDan team, and everything seems to be smoothed out. He said, although there's some surprise, I'm grateful for all of your voices. Through positive conversations with the producers, including the possibility of future collaborations, I feel we can build a wonderful future together with all the fans. So
Yeah.
that's probably the best possible outcome there.
Agreed.
But I guess outside of that controversy, because I forgot that happened. I thought it was something else. Outside of that controversy, I was just gonna say the episode in general, I thought people had a really good time with. Especially considering the like, what is it, Acro Silky episode from last season, I think was like one of the most popular episodes, especially hearing like the backstory of that. Is she a curse? I forget. Ghost spirit.
Who are you talking about?
Acro Silky.
That's a curse.
Yeah. Hearing the backstory. She's something.
She's like she's like a gran she's like Granny, the same same category.
But yeah, I know in season 1 people really liked hearing her backstory and like how that was presented, and thought like, you know, the animation was great, all of that. So I think there was like somewhat of a similar effect with the exorcism episode, and especially seeing you know, Evil Eye's backstory and like how he became what he became. I thought people really enjoyed, but the concert itself, I was excited to see that, because, you know, like, it's like reading the manga, you're not gonna get the full effect of like when there's some kind of musical performance or anything like that. So to hear it and like match the visuals at the same time was really exciting.
Yeah, I agree. It shall be interesting to see when we are finally getting season 3, though. Do you know anything about confirmation of that?
They did confirm that they are. Did they say they were working on season 3 already, or that it was already? Let me see. They did confirm there is a season 3, though, for sure.
Yeah, I would be surprised if there weren't.
You will never guess what I just saw on Twitter. There's a official Persona cookbook now.
I saw that one. Yeah, I think Crystal, the streamer, mentioned to you about it, showed it off on stream and knew it through that.
Let's see. No, it's just saying season 3 was confirmed. So they haven't started production yet, at least that we know.
Gotcha. So, but with that said, Jamie, where can people find you?
You guys can find me over at Swiper_Prime on Twitch and YouTube for all things gaming. As of this live stream, Ghost of Yote comes out in 2 weeks, I believe. So I'm very heavily anticipating that game. Very much so looking forward to that.
Nice.
We have been on the YouTube side of things for Let's Plays. We've been playing through Okami, and we're getting towards the end of that. I actually finished the game earlier today, so I'm gonna start, you know, editing the episodes so everybody can be all caught up with my thoughts and everything like that. And then I'm still working on this Expedition 33 video. I have some animations that I want to do, and that's taken a while, so we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And you can find me here at Amateur Otaku, Swedish Emblem on YouTube and Twitch, and Emblemaniac on pretty much every social media account. And as of right now, there's 2 more episodes of the Donkey Kong Let's Play on the YouTube channel, and then after that we are moving forward with Wind Waker, which we have started streaming. For those that have missed the previous stream, the episodes will come up on YouTube starting Wednesday next week, actually.
Nice.
So which feels nice and all, and and next time, well, we shall see what we will cover. You know about that later on, but anywho, have it awesome, y'all. Peace.